the words of legendary reggae artist, which reads in part, would you make the system get on top of your head again? No, dread, no. Why do you look so sad and forsaken? When one door is closed, don't you know other is open? Perhaps that phrase is appropriate and appropriately fit for what some communities now regard as a way of life. For some of them, business and commuting around these houses are at the mercy of merchants in maritime, oil and gas, whose trucks and articulated vehicle have made access in and out of the affected vicinity some sort of a nightmare. On Community Report this week, we bring again the continuous menace caused by trucks on roads and how that has crumbled business activity in communities across Lagos. So while that subsists, ancillary businesses are springing up in response to the gridlock and socioeconomic realities. I'm your host, Olu Phillips. Welcome. Reports from the Nigeria Port Authority say a total revenue of 299.56 billion naira was generated for the 2017 fiscal year. A while ago, records have it that Nigeria's economy loses about 20 billion naira on a daily basis to gridlock and failed infrastructure around the Apapa port city. The gridlock, which used to be a dominance around the Mile 2, Ibafo, Coconut and Tinkan area, is now gradually becoming a headache motorists can't wait to have go away soon, as it has now stretched to areas around the Ikorodu Road, especially from Fadeyi all the way to Funshaw Williams Avenue. With no signs of abating and the loss of time and money to both the government and other private citizens, many believe the challenge is an enforcement issue.
You have those engaged in haulage activities who have absolutely no regard for the laws. They are a law unto themselves. They do not respect authority. If you try to tow a vehicle, let's say a haulage vehicle off the road, they tell you they are going on strike. They make trouble. You tell a tanker driver he cannot park on the road, the same thing occurs. The other vehicles that are responsible for the traffic belong to petroleum tanker drivers. You tow one of them and they go on strike. Then you have fuel scarcity. So the only way out, if you ask me, is to start by devolving traffic. Cargo traffic, including petroleum products that are stored at the tank farms at Ibafo. You need to look. The ports in Lagos, they have a specific capacity. So once you have cargo headed in this direction within a given month, determined to have capped the capacity in Lagos, it's a no-brainer. Why don't you devolve traffic to other ports? Any other traffic coming in, and it is Lagos specific, has to wait until the next month. The Lagos state government needs to be alive to its responsibility. The Lagos state government owes Lagos residents a responsibility. They need to guarantee free flow of traffic.
Governments can stop everything. There is nothing governments can never do. Whoever challenging government, nobody is challenging government now. That is property of government. This road is property of government. The truck is property of government. Anywhere they want it to be, that it will be.
A few months ago, the Nigerian Navy gave an ultimatum to trucks to vacate bridges around Apapa axis for national security sakes. They complied, but that created another set of problems. The trucks pushed back and now litter municipal roads. When structures and institutions are right, business endeavors, growth and development becomes a win-win situation. Government benefits through returns by way of taxes and levies. Businesses grow because the operating environment supports transactions. Employment is generated. The cycle of growth goes geometric. Communities are improved and people lead a good life. Needless we say that life expectancy improves. For days and months, stories dot the development landscape of several communities in Lagos which suffer from maritime activities. Affected communities include Isolo, Okota, Amu Odofin, Festac, Abulado, Ojo Road, Satellite Town, Ijegu Satellite, Kirikiri, Ibafo, Mile 2 Estate, Apapa GRA, Eric Moore, Ago Palace Way, and more.
The Festac Amu axis, Apapa, accounts for a sizable chunk of commercial activities within Lagos. And for what it's worth, it is obvious that Apapa hosts several ports. You have ports, a port out there, and you have haulage activities ongoing there. And the traffic situation in and out of the ports has been nightmarish. Nightmarish in the sense that the road has been bad for quite a while. The road is always being fixed by successive governments, and the logistics, management of the logistics, the movement in and out of the ports hasn't been what it should be. That has led to traffic buildup. It's a perennial problem. Now, a section of the road, the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway, has been shut down. You have trucks and tankers packed on the road, So those of us who function from out of Amu are unable to really get around